Good morning. My name is Paul O'Dwyer. My focus today is twofold. Firstly, I will introduce the 6 key characteristics of effective PLCs and describe what they look like in practice. Secondly, I will present some existing evidence on the efficacy of PLCs. At the outset, it is worth acknowledging that most teachers already appreciate the value of collaborating with peers. However, as John already outlined, it is not simply the act of having casual conversations with colleagues in the staff room or in the corridor that we are discussing today, although this has a value too. Within my own school, most of our discussions take the form of these casual conversations. The reason for this is typically a lack of available time during settings such as staff meetings and lack of cover for our classes if we were to consider observing peers at work and discussing their practice. Exploring the work of Newman et al. 1996, Vesio, Ross and Adams 2008 proposed the following characteristics of effective PLCs. Number 1. A change in both teacher and school practice, i.e. individual and systemic. This will require effective leadership throughout the school and the building of consensus that PLCs are the appropriate way to proceed in order to improve student outcomes. Pather will discuss leadership implications later in this presentation. Number 2. Shared values and norms. This covers quite a range of topics including, but not limited to, school priorities for use of time and space, the role of teachers, leaders, parents and learners, and views about students' ability to learn. Number 3. Clear and consistent focus on student learning. The emphasis is not to ensure that students are taught, but rather that they learn. Crucially, PLCs exist to improve student learning and outcomes. Meetings of PLCs must keep this at the top of their agendas, and discussions should be framed with this in mind. Number 4. Reflective dialogue that leads to extensive and continuing conversations among teachers. The work of PLCs should be viewed as a process with evolving aims. It is vital that there is an agreed language and manner of feedback so that the exercise does not descend into criticism of an individual teacher's work. Indeed, if teachers believe that the true motive is for management to inspect their work, then it will be near impossible to achieve the buy-in required. Number 5. Deprivatizing practice to make teaching public. As stated before, PLCs frequently involve teachers discussing their colleagues' work. This can follow an observation by a peer, or indeed the videoing of a class with a view to discuss what methods worked. On a day-to-day level, this public teaching climate could be fostered through an open door policy. And finally, number 6, these PLCs should focus on collaboration. Bolam et al. 2005 compiled a list of similar characteristics from which they synthesized the following definition for PLCs. They are communities with the capacity to promote and sustain the learning of all professionals in the school community with the collective purpose of enhancing student learning.